Summary of Sonny's Blues by James Baldwin. The story begins with an unnamed narrator who has just read in the newspaper that his younger brother Sonny was caught for selling and using heroin. He is unable to take his mind off of anything else during the day. He teaches algebra at a high school and wonders which of his young students, like Sonny, are turning to drugs to escape the pain of being young black men in Harlem. While on the way to the train, the narrator meets an old friend of Sonny's who is addicted to drugs. They talk about how hard prison will be for Sonny. The narrator says he won't do anything to help Sonny, but he does give Sonny's friend money when he needs it. This story jumps ahead to months later, when the narrator's young daughter Grace has just died of polio. He finally chooses to write to Sonny in jail out of grief. He tells her that he needed to talk to his brother but didn't want to because he knows how much pain he has caused. They start writing to each other, and when Sonny gets out of jail, he moves in with the narrator's family in Harlem. The story jumps back in time when Sonny comes into the narrator's life and makes him remember his childhood. The narrator remembers that his mother made him promise not to let anything bad happen to Sonny right after his father died. She told him that her father had seen his brother, who was also a singer like Sonny, get hit by a car full of drunk white men. He didn't understand why she was so worried. His mother tells him that the world hasn't changed and that he still has a brother. Soon after, the narrator's mother dies, and he gets time off from the army to go to the funeral. Sonny, who is in his teens, goes to live with Isabel's parents until he ends school. The narrator is married to a woman named Isabel. He talks to Sonny about his dream of becoming a jazz singer during this visit, and the narrator strongly tells him not to follow his dreams. Sonny lives with the narrator's wife's family and plays the piano for them all day and night. After Sonny's family finds out he hasn't been going to school, he joins the Navy and doesn't say goodbye. Sonny will not be seen again until after the war. A group of artists and Sonny live together in the city center. After a terrible fight, the narrator and Sonny don't talk to each other until the narrator writes to Sonny from jail. After that, the story goes back to the present, where Sonny has been living with the storyteller for 2 weeks. The narrator is at home by himself and is watching a revival meeting across the street. He sees Sonny watching the singers from the edge of the crowd. Sonny goes upstairs and asks the narrator to come hear him play that night in the village. The narrator agrees to go, and they talk about the woman singing across the street at the revival meeting. It starts a talk about how bad pain can be and how drugs and music can help you avoid it, keep you from being shattered by the world. Sonny tells the narrator that even though he is clean now, his problems might not be over. The narrator promises Sonny that he will always be there for him. When they get to the bar, the narrator is shocked by how much everyone there loves and admires Sonny. Sonny lives in a world that the narrator has no idea about. The narrator thinks about how rare it is to be moved by music as Sonny and his band start to play. That makes him think about how hard it must be to play music and contain all the anger, happiness, and confusion that people feel. At first, Sonny seems to have trouble getting into the music. But finally, he does, and the narrator, who is watching from the corner, starts to cry as he thinks about his own pain, Sonny's pain, their parents' pain, and the pain in the world around them. He knows that music tells everyone's story, and that it's an honor to try to tell it in a new way that will make people listen and help them face their problems in a way that makes them feel less alone. The narrator buys Sonny a drink, and the bartender puts the glass on top of his piano while the band takes a break. Sonny takes a sip, looks at the storyteller, and then goes back to playing. The narrator sees the glass on the piano above Sonny's head shake and calls it the very cup of trembling.
About the author. James Baldwin was born in Harlem in 1924. His grandfather was a slave, and he was the oldest of 9 children. Even though his real father wasn't there, the young author's stepfather was soon a Baptist preacher called David Baldwin. Baldwin's relationship with David would change over the years, but it would also shape him. Baldwin's experience as a youth minister in an opposite church was both a response to and a rejection of his Baptist preacher's stepfather's example. Baldwin said that his time in the church, where he had to prepare and give several sermons a week, was an important part of his growth as a writer because it pushed him to think about a wide range of human feelings. In his most famous book, Go Tell It on the Mountain, and in his play, The Amen Corner, he talks about these things. After he graduated from high school, Baldwin spent most of his time as a book reviewer in Greenwich Village, which was a hub of imagination and forward thinking at the time. Around this time, the famous author Richard Wright saw Baldwin's ability and helped him get a grant so he could work on a book and make money while he did it. Baldwin went to Paris in 1948 to get away from America both physically and mentally so he could write more clearly about his home country. The result was the book Go Tell It on the Mountain, which he put out in 1953. Baldwin moved back to the United States in 1957. When he did, he joined the civil rights movement. This was the start of his well-known career as an outspoken agitator and socially aware public thinker who fought for calm answers to race tensions in America. Baldwin spent the last 10 years of his life working in France. In the wake of the deaths of civil rights worker Medgar Evers and civil rights leader Martin Luther King, Jr., he wrote a number of important works about American identity. In 1987, he died in St. Paul, Delaware, France, of stomach cancer.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.